These are the things I hate, and these are the things I love about my Polaris Xpedition after owning it for 1 year. Okay, so let's dive into my Polaris Xpedition. I've had this thing for a while now, and been able to break her in, and lately I've been getting a lot of questions. Should I buy one? What do I like about it? Whatever. So here I am to answer them, because it's just easier to do it over a YouTube video. So first off, I like it. It's a lot of fun. For where I live up here in Utah in the mountains. It's awesome. I drive it to get coffee. I drive it up in the hills to drink my coffee. Kind of casual. I'd say it's a great Saturday, Sunday cruiser. So that part I love about it, but there's definitely things that I don't love about it. But first off, I'll talk about some of the things I've done to this thing that I think are essential in making it just a little more pleasurable or whatever. And it's very simple. I haven't invested a ton of money in it. So first off, wheels and tires. Went to a larger 33 wheel or 33 tire. So I have Vision wheels, and then Toyo, they're side by side 33 tire. I think this made the ride a lot better as far as on-off road. Just because having a little bit bigger tire to go over rocks and stuff is definitely nicer on these graded roads and whatnot. And then it also helped with the noise. So my number one complaint on my Polaris Xpedition is definitely the in-cabin noise. It's loud. There's been some fixes now, but it's definitely louder than I was hoping. You're not wearing helmets or stuff in here, so you're just hearing the raw stuff, and the engine and transmission seem to kind of echo through. So by going to a bigger tire, kind of helped the clutching a little. And then now Polaris has come out with a recall or a fix that changes the clutching, some new weights and stuff, and that definitely helped some of the loudness. It didn't get rid of it, but it definitely helped. So that's one thing. Definitely do the recall, or I believe all the new ones come with it. And then the third thing I did for noise was I insulated the whole back. Right now, like when it comes factory, there's just plastic in between basically the engine and the cab. The firewall is very thin, not a ton. So we added a bunch of sound proofing and some insulation to try to quiet down the cab to get that echo down. I've heard some other things, read some forums, they do some more that helps, but I kind of just did a basic setup. So yeah, that's my number one complaint, the sound. But now let's talk about something I love about it. I think one thing that makes this thing so cool is it's fully enclosed, and the AC and the heater work really good. I do think it's a year-round vehicle. During the winter, I was driving it all around, playing in the snow a little, and it did great, and I never was worried about being cold or anything like that. I could wear pants and a t-shirt and be super casual in 10, 20 degree weather. That is one thing I really loved. I think they hit it on the nail with that, and I think that's why a lot of people want this is, now we're getting into more of that, towards a Bronco or a Jeep or something like that, which makes it really nice. Second thing that I'm not disappointed with, but I just wish I had more. And I will say I'm a little skewed. I drive a 1,000 horsepower trophy truck for a living, so I expect a lot, and speed is very, when I get in one of these things, everything seems slow. But the power, I think it could use a little more power. I think part of the problem is that I am up here at high elevation. Right now we're probably at, 7,000 feet. So a naturally aspirated 1,000 cc engine, it doesn't love it. So I don't know. As far as like an aftermarket option, I've seen people put turbos on it. I think that'd be really awesome, especially for the high altitude. That's one thing I wish, because I just seem like I'm always full throttle, and it's fun. I'm not playing it down, but there's times where I'm like, I wish I could have a little more pep and, more of that Razor sliding style versus, my utility Ranger that I use on my farm. I wish there was a little more towards that Razor part, which is kind of what, you're buying this for versus a Ranger. So that'd be one thing. I think, it'd be really cool if like Polaris came out with where this had a Pro R motor in it or something. I think that would be like insane, probably deadly. I'd probably crash the thing. But that's one thing I do wish but I just haven't taken the time to really look at putting a turbo or anything on it. All right, next thing that I do like is I think the ride quality is super good, especially compared to a Ranger. And it's definitely not a Razor, which I expected that. I mean, Ranger, Razor, Xpedition's in the middle. But I definitely say it rides more like a Razor than a Ranger. You know, you're not gonna be hitting 4-foot whoops at 60 miles an hour. No, but for what I use this thing for, and I think a lot of people are using this for, mountain roads, graded roads, a little bit of rock crawling, I think the suspension works really, really good. I think it's it's that good in between. It really reminds me of like kind of driving my original XP like 1000, kind of that more XP style, versus, I wouldn't say it's a Turbo S or a Pro R, but it definitely has like a Razor handability. So that part's awesome. One thing I think would be insane would be Fox live valve on this thing. I think it's the perfect vehicle for it. And I mean, I have Fox live valve on my Pro R, I have Fox live valve on my trophy truck, so I'm very familiar with it and I love it. I think what would be so cool about this thing is because this thing, you're seeing so much different terrain. You're on the highway, you're on the dirt roads, you're rock crawling. So to be able to have different settings, even if it's just a soft, medium, hard, or if it's like a Razor where you have a Baja mode or, you know, rock crawling mode, I think that would really allow this thing just another step. And I'm not saying it's, like I said, I like the ride quality, but I think that'd be like the next, you know, if I was building the next cooler version, having that option would just allow so much more. Because when you come into the rocks and stuff and you can just soften it up, the ride just gets so much better. And I'm just spoiled now because literally everything I own has it. My Raptor has it. All of my vehicles have it. I'm ruined, and I'll never be able to go back. Overall build quality, I think it's good. We've put it through its paces. I'm definitely hard on equipment. I haven't had any real issues with it. The only issue that I really had was I broke the front windshield, and then it also, when I first got it, the roof wasn't perfectly sealed, so I did leak a little. Besides that, I put it through its paces. Like I said, I drive it to get coffee, I drive it up in the mountains, and I'm pretty much wide open everywhere. And it takes it. I've hit some big rocks, some big come into things, and I'm like, and I'm like, and it takes it. Where I definitely know like a Ranger or something, you're like, I don't know if that would have made it through. So that's one thing. Like I said, the tires make a huge difference. I'm always bigger tires, better. I think you'd be pushing it, especially with the stock power, to put 35s on it. But if you're gonna do the turbo kit and then you're gonna do the widening kit to add the 35s, I think 35s would be awesome. 35s just make everything ride better, in my opinion. Once you drive with 40s on a trophy truck, you're like, the bigger the tire, the better. So other things, I think it has a pretty decent range as far as, you know, fill up. You feel like you can go for a good long day ride, no problem, not worrying about gasoline. Kind of depending on how hard you're driving it, but that's never, you know, I remember back in the day with Razors and stuff, you'd always be like, oh, am I gonna make it? You know, you're trying to worry. This thing, it seemed, I just get in. If it's got over half tank, like that fit, I'm never like worried about it. So that part, I think the bed and everything is awesome. I know they have some racks and stuff that clip in. I think that's really cool. One other thing that I really do enjoy about it, which we can walk back, I'd say it's a plus. I have my dog Vicente. He pretty much comes everywhere with me. And what I really like is just being able to fold the seats up right away, and then he can kind of chill back there, or you can throw a lot of stuff. There's a lot of room just to throw stuff. One thing I will say that I don't, which I'm sure there's a reason why, but I wish these doors opened a little more. Like, I'm not that big of a dude. I'm pretty small, and it's, you know, it's snug. It's no problem getting in, but it's kind of like, I always find myself like, oh, stopped. So that's one thing. Overall, sound system works good. Now that I've fixed some of the sound coming from the engine, definitely hear it a lot better. I think a really cool feature that a lot of people don't realize these things have, if we're gonna jump into it, sorry, the broken leg, is this. On these nice summer days, flip that open, kind of get more you know, you can open little windows, and if it's a nice day and there's no dust, feel like you're driving your Razor or something. Getting in the more great outdoors. But overall, I think that's my my 10-second review on my Polaris Xpedition after owning it for a year. I think I'm a good test of beating things up and putting it through the paces, especially I live in the mountains, kind of on a farm. I have got buffalo and stuff, so I use it as a ranch vehicle sometimes, but then, you know, most of the time I'm using it more as a fun, adventure, playful vehicle, and I think it fits the bill. But as I said, those few things, I wish it had those, but I'm happy with it. I'd make the purchase again. So if you don't already follow me, or I guess subscribe to me, my name's Christopher. Race trophy trucks for a living, but also a pretty adventurous guy. Be sure to subscribe. We drop a new video every single week, whether it's reviews on Expeditions, racing trophy trucks that are 1,000 horsepower, or just, you know, flying planes, doing dumb stuff. It's entertaining. Drop a comment below if you have any questions, and we'll answer them. Disclaimer, all driven with left foot. All driven with the left foot on this video. Gas and brake. Or high speed. It actually feels so fast. Yeah, they feel fast when they're like, you know, it's different. When they're what? Well, it's like, you know, driving a Raptor fast compared to our trophy truck.
Yeah.